In any data analytics scenario, we need to start with clean, correct, and trusted data. However, data may sometimes be dirty. Customer lists, product names, and medical records may be misspelled or written a bit differently, even when referring to the same thing. Take for instance this table of company names. For ABC Acme, some records have additional words such as corporation or corp. Others have extra characters such as an ampersand or a dash, and a few are capitalized differently. Other companies have similar typos too. This data can be cleaned and standardized using Monarch Data Prep Studio's Smart Grouping feature. This is available when creating a new lookup column where a lookup table is defined consisting of input and output value pairs. Let's create a lookup field for the company name with the existing company as the input field. To start, we either import the data as is or clean the data by removing spaces or changing the case as we do the import. The input value column now has a list of distinct company names, including the names we have to clean up and match as well. Let's apply a smart group to the list. Having the right settings for the match criteria improves the outcome of the mapping. In our case, retain the language as English. There are German and French options too. For the type, we can specify that we are working with either standard data or company names. Let's set this to company. Under Match Exclusions, setting the minimum character length tells Data Prep Studio to match only values longer than the chosen length. This would skip trying to match very short strings that are unlikely to group well. If this is left unchecked, Data Prep Studio will be grouping values regardless of length. Upon clicking OK, we are given matched groups for us to review. The first set of names are very similar, prompting Data Prep Studio to group them. But these refer to different companies. We can disregard this suggested grouping and go to the next group. Here we have the variations of ABC Acme that we are looking out for. We can select any of the input values to create a mapping or output value for the group. You can double-click on an input value, edit the output value, or type in a custom value. We want to map all of this to ABC Acme, so we click on Autofill Output to apply the value here to the group. We can now review the rest of the proposed groupings and set the appropriate output values. In case a set of names needs to be mapped to the same output value as another group, we can easily navigate between groups and copy and paste the necessary value. The lookup table now has the lookup pairs resulting from applying the smart group. This table can now be reviewed and modified. You can add output values for unmapped inputs, add more lookup pairs, and so on. In our case, we only want to map the company names that went through smart grouping. So we can now remove rows with empty output values and instruct Data Prep Studio to use the value from the input field whenever no match is found in the lookup table. We now have the corrected company names in our newly created lookup column. To take this a step further, we could check for duplicates, which are now easily detected after applying Smart Group to the data. The table may then easily be deduped into a clean list. Data Prep Studio's Smart Group feature is of great use when dealing with data quality issues as we've seen here. This is now ready for further transformation and even for aggregating with other sources and creating reports based on clean and trusted data.